Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Desert Lakes Golf Course once again for the tip of the week. Thanks for tuning in again. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about ball flight laws. Why the ball goes where it goes. If you start to understand that, or can get at least a general concept of why the ball goes where it goes, it's going to help you improve. You're going to be able to figure some things out when you're on the golf course, figure them out by yourself. You don't have to have the old pro there all the time to correct everything. It'll help you improve, help you be able to get that concept in your mind of how you can correct your swing without actually getting a swing tip to do that. When you understand the ball flight laws, you start to understand how to get the club in the right position. So I'm going to give you a basic concept of the 5 laws of physics that actually take place when you strike a golf ball. Now understand, this is a basic concept. It takes some time of actually experimenting with this and understanding why the ball is going where it goes, because if one law is too far off, if you've done something too extreme with that particular law, then it may kind of make those other laws a little bit harder to read. So law number 1 is solidness of contact. Where you hit the ball on the club face creates the mass behind the ball. That's the same reason why the drivers you see now are those high MOI, high moment of inertia. That means that there's more mass behind the ball. Those clubs are built so big that the sweet spot is huge, so that if you hit it out on the toe, it's still much like hitting it in the center of the club. So that's solidness of contact, number 1. That is the single most important law of all the laws too, because it greatly affects the other 4. The second one is speed. The faster you swing the club, the further the ball goes. But remember, that's based on solid contact. So if you don't hit the ball solid, but you have a high swing speed, you're still not going to hit it very far. So guess what? If you want to hit it far, the first thing is to learn to hit it solid. Then you're going to start to hit it further. Now the third one is angle of attack, the angle that the club comes into the ball. Law of physics says that when you bounce a ball on the ground, it's going to come off at the reflective angle of where it went in. So if it goes in at this angle, it's going to come off at the reverse angle. Now this is all relative to the loft of the club. A 9-iron obviously is going to go higher than a 3-iron. But if you swing a 9-iron steep into the ball, it's going to go higher than if you swing a 9-iron shallow into the ball. Now there is a point there with angle of attack that if you get too steep, much like on a billiard table, if I'm trying to hit a cue ball here, it's hard to hit it solid. So it goes back to affecting that law number 1, solidness of contact. You have to have it in an area where you can hit it solid. So that's law number 3, is the angle of attack. If you want to hit it high, you have to come into the ball at a higher angle or a steeper angle. Law number 4, I can't count. Law number 4 is your path, and that's the general direction that the club is traveling when it hits the ball. Okay, you can have a path that's down the line, just like this arrow here, this piece of wood, it's going right at that flag over there. So that's what we call a straight path. You can have an outside to inside path or an inside to outside path. Wherever the path is traveling, wherever that club is traveling is on its path, is going to be the initial direction of the ball. So if you hit a ball and it starts out to the left and slices back to the right, that means that your path was going from outside to inside. Vice versa, if you hit it out to the right and it comes back to the left, it was going from inside to outside. And I shouldn't say going back to the left or the right, because that's actually the 5th law, which is your club face angle. You have a square club face, you have an open club face, and you have a closed club face. If it's square and your path is square, the ball is going to start straight and fly straight. If you have an open club face and your path is straight, you're going to start the ball straight and the ball will fade or cut off to the right for a right-handed golfer. If it's closed and your path is straight, it's going to start straight and the ball is going to curve to the left or hook to the left for the right-handed golfer. So those are the 5 laws of physics. Solidness of contact, speed, angle of attack, the path, the direction the club is traveling, and the club face angle. If you experiment a little bit with that and try to understand how they affect it, remember, solidness of contact is the single most important of those 5 laws. But if you experiment a little bit with it, it'll make you understand how to get the club to the ball to hit the shots that you want. So go ahead, go out to the driving range, try a few shots here and there and see what you can learn. Understand that's the basics. It may take a little bit longer to learn the whole thing and be able to interpret all those laws, but that's a good start. So go ahead and give that a try. Next week, we're going to tell you a little bit about how to practice. That's when you can experiment with those laws. So see you next week. Thanks for tuning in this week.